Let's focus now on Jagersfontein in the Free State. It's been a month since residents had their homes engulfed in toxic sludge from a disused mine tailings dam. They are asking for their homes to be rebuilt. They were promised their homes would be rebuilt swiftly. But of course, things have not happened as quickly as they would like. 2 people, of course, confirmed dead in the disaster. 1 person is still missing. I'm joined now by eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu, who's been following developments a month since this disaster. Thank you so much for joining us. You've spoken to people who've been affected by what happened a month ago. Some of them just want to move out of the area completely. What are they saying to you a month on?
Well, sir, I can tell you that there's still quite a lot of uncertainty as far as some of the residents of Jagersfontein are concerned. They're saying that at this stage they don't know where they're going to go to, because we know that some of the houses were destroyed. We know that there were over 150 houses that were destroyed in that area, and just over 300 residents that have been affected. Of course, they have been staying at various guest houses and hotels. That's up until last week Saturday, when they returned to Jagersfontein. Some of them seeing for the first time the extent of the damage to their houses, and many of them saying that at this particular point, Sally, they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know where they will go. We know that they have been provided temporary shelter for now, but they're saying that there's still that anxiety as far as rebuilding their homes are concerned, and some of them really yearning to go back to some sense of normality. But they're saying that at this particular point it doesn't appear as if that will happen anytime soon. As far as the rebuilding process is concerned, we know, Sally, that not much has changed in Jagersfontein. In fact, many of the houses there are still covered in sludge. We just took a drive today, just looking at the area, Sally, and it seems as if nothing has happened since we left this area about a month ago. And so there's quite a deal of anxiety amongst those residents, a deal of frustration, because they're saying that they're also not getting any progress reports from government. To recall, of course, that there was national government here in Jagersfontein that came to address some of the concerns. The president also arriving last month, promising that they will act swiftly as far as rebuilding and mop-up operations are concerned. But residents saying that nothing has happened. And earlier on, I spoke to one of the ladies. She lost her entire home, and she says that, it's still painful when she goes to a house, because she had worked for years for that household. She says that she has lost everything in it, and she really wants some sort of assurance from officials that her house will be rebuilt. Take a listen, Sally, to what she had to say.
Tipanyana eo ya ka ibile nga ke na ibitsa tipanyana hobane ke rekile ka bothata ka lerato a ke utlwa bohloko haholo ke ne ke lakatsa eka nka bona fela ke ahelwa ntlo ke tla leka hore ke bope ke leke o ikgutlisetsa sebopeong sa ntlo ya ka ya gale empa ha ena tshwana fela ha o no ka etsahala hore ke ahelwe ntlo.
Well, sir, this lady is saying that she's very saddened by what she saw. She was coming to her house for the second time. She said it's still painful when she sees what happened, because she had worked hard for this house. She built it in the 1980s, and, she had called it her palace. And so she says when she came to see it, and even a month later, that nothing has changed in her house, no rebuilding has started, it pains her. And she says the only hope she has now is to have a home that she can call hers, and for government to speed up the process of rebuilding their home. She says, of course, it's still quite painful to see what had happened and just the impact of what had happened in that particular area.
All right, so talk to me about what authorities are saying, because at the time there were a lot of reassurances that a plan would be made, and indeed we are seeing the people that are being housed and looked after, going to school in Bloemfontein, I understand, for some of the children. But what are authorities saying about the time frame and the exact plan on when everyone is going to be properly accommodated again?
Well, Sally, we did speak to the local municipality, which is the Kopanong local municipality, just to ascertain as far as progress is concerned in rebuilding some of those homes. And what the mayor had said is that, it seems as if government, the national and provincial government are dragging their feet as far as, those processes are concerned, saying that they seem to be slow. There were assurances that were made, but none of them have come to fruition. And in fact, he says that he has written to national government just to ascertain how far and when exactly we will see some sort of progress being made in terms of rebuilding Jagersfontein. But he says that at this point there have been no responses. We also tried to reach out to the different departments. We're unable to get any of those officials to give us a timeline as to really what will happen. But what we do know, Sal, is that there was a meeting earlier on between community members and the mine officials, which was held earlier today in that particular town, where there was an engagement where the mine had promised residents that they are going to be part and parcel of the rebuilding process. In fact, they're saying that they are the ones that are going to ensure that they build those houses back for the community. But in terms of time frame, Sally, that has not been committed to. But what we do know is that tomorrow they will be again meeting to assess those that have been, that have suffered damages, and they'll also be doing some of those processes in terms of trying to find out who lost exactly what, because they're saying that this process could take some time. So at this particular point, Sal, it's still not clear exactly when the rebuilding process will begin. But I spoke to the mayor, and he says that it's not really the local municipality that will be responsible for this. And Sally, this is what he had to say about government's promises and their promises to the community that they've made when they arrived in this area.
We had a meeting with the displaced and affected families in relation to the disaster, inclusive of the new investors in the mine. They are known as Star Gems. Their representative as part of the meeting, which is Mr. Billy Pilangulu, and the commitments that they've made is that they, as a shareholder in that particular mine, are committed to rebuild the houses. And the interactions that we have with them as the municipality is that we do have alternative sites where people will be allocated into, whilst we are waiting for other assessments by provincial and national government to be conducted. As we speak, there is a team of the municipality which is just doing a count of the available sites that are available. But equal to that, we have also accumulated a list of individuals who feel that whether the affected sites will be utilized for housing again or not, they feel like they no longer want to live in the areas, and therefore, as a municipality, we have provided alternatives for them.
Yeah, and that mayor has been really quite committed in trying to help the people of that community. So important that we keep following up these issues. That was reporter Manqoba Mchunu. Thank you very much for that, coming to us from Jagersfontein in the Free State. Let's now